So today we are trying to figure out the different types of RVs there are. I got some help going on here to tell the story. It took us a while to figure out all the different types that there were. A little bit longer to figure out all the benefits and drawbacks to having each one. So today we're going to break these down for you as far as the Fireflies understand how all these RV types work out.
Fireflies.
Yeah, we sure are. Maybe you guys will get a shortcut into what took us a while to figure out of all the class types that there are.
You're going to draw a big picture of the little picture.
The story is, how many types of RVs are there?
I'm going to do this one.
You're going to do this one?
That was your first one.
So what you do is you draw that one here on this piece of paper. Now you get to draw whichever one you want. Just pick one, and then you get to draw it. Which one do you want to draw first?
I guess that one.
That one? Okay. It took us a long time to figure out all the different types. Our very first campground in San Diego, when we first started full-timing, was a KOA. And I remember getting there with our Class C and noticing that nobody had one. Like, the park had at least 80 sites.
It's funny.
And it was full. And nobody had nobody had a Class C. It was like half the people had a fifth wheel.
And now we know that one campground has a bunch of Class C's,
Yeah.
one campground has trailers, but then it was our first time, so we thought we bought the wrong thing.
We bought the wrong thing. And what's funny is that thought stayed with us for quite a while. It stayed with us for a good long time, and it actually got worse when we started getting stopped.
Yeah, that's when you really think you bought the wrong one.
Yeah, stopped by authorities.
Yeah.
We went through a checkpoint and they pulled us over. We got stopped on the highway twice. And we only owned the Class C for 6 months.
Mm-hmm. And for no reasons we were stopped.
No, yeah, for no reasons.
Silly
It
reasons.
was just, you know.
My driving was fine.
We thought. I got a little video of that one. I wonder if I can find it. Our first police stop. Waiting for the cop to come back and tell us we're all arrested.
They let us go on all
Yeah, they
all
did.
occasions, but
They let us
it's just
go.
the hassle of being stopped.
Yeah.
You know, just because of the look of your your vehicle.
At the checkpoint station, they sicked the dogs on the RV. The dogs went all the way around. Mm-hmm. What a nice puppy, of course, the kids are saying through the window. We're like, shh, settle down.
It's not a puppy.
Yeah, I know. Big Doberman. That was our experience with, our first experience with class types. Was our first impression at our first campground at the KOA. About half were fifth wheels A quarter were trailers and a quarter were Class A's.
Class A's.
And we were the Class C.
Yeah. But you know, we've always been different.
We definitely felt a little out of place. I don't know. You know, when you go into a campground and you're just starting this kind of stuff out, and all you see is something that you're not on, you're like, oh boy. But just like Brian said, we learned later that depending on the campground that you go to, some campgrounds we go to, it's all trailers. There are no Class A's, C's. There's like one or two fifth wheels. So when we were there with the Class A, we were like the only motorized, really.
So you're gonna
RV.
always find a park that you stick out in.
Yeah.
Because they're all different.
Yeah. So anyway, as you go around the country, you definitely run into all kinds of parks that have a different mixture of RVs. And it took us a long time to figure out why people chose certain things. What's the advantage of a fifth wheel over a trailer, over a Class A, over a Class B, over a Class C. And so we're here to give you our take on what we've learned after 2.5 years of doing this. It's more of the definition we've come to regarding each class type. And since we've already owned 2 and now we've owned 3, it has more to do with also our experiences with these types.
Yeah.
And wishing we had certain things depending on where we were camping. We're also basing it on that. You know, there's the custom. So the custom we're not even talking about because we've seen some awesome customs that are just really off the hook.
You can build your own.
You can build your own. There's 2 primary towables. There's the fifth wheel and the trailer. So the fifth wheel, the kind of trailer that you hook up with a special hitch in the back of a pickup truck. So a lot of farmers, for instance, use fifth wheel hitches to tow heavy equipment, and the truck that is used to pull these vary as well. I would say about 80-90% of the trucks are just pickup trucks. The major advantage of a fifth wheel that we found out why so many people pick them, in our opinion, we hate being opinionated, but let me tell you what we think.
Out of all of them, we think that, no, since we just bought a trailer's
trailer's the way to go.
Right?
We made another mistake.
No, it's fun to try all the different ones. So it's good adventure.
Changing over.
It's expensive and very time consuming to go from one to the other, but it's fun too. You know?
And it's the main reason that we rented this place is because we already did one switch and we didn't want to have that experience again of switching on the road.
And in a way, I feel like we're starting all over again because now we got to downsize all over again.
We got to majorly downsize,
especially with the kids' toys.
But it's totally.
They own this house.
I know. So back to why people pick fifth wheels.
They have a lot more room to hide stuff.
Yes, they do. That's a different way of saying it. You get the most square footage for the price. So if you look at square footage versus price per square foot, the fifth wheel is going to be the least expensive option of all the RVs that we've seen. There's always exceptions. Please bear with us.
They're the tallest ceilings.
Yeah.
People have ceiling fans in them.
Yeah.
I mean, they feel like a home. They have the room of a home. Some of them look like they unfold all the way around.
I know.
It turns into these enormous things.
Six slides. And they're the big slides, the ones that slide out like 2 feet, 3 feet. And they're really, really pretty rigs. Some of them are really nice looking. Yeah. Although we haven't really found an ugly RV altogether. They all have charm to them, no matter which RV we've seen. We're kind of RV enthusiasts, so.
There is bad to the size too because you can't fit through these small places to get to camping.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's not for us. I mean, so getting to the minuses of a fifth wheel.
They're bigger than Class A's. They're taller.
Yeah, most fifth wheels are bigger than a Class A. You have to go into the 3-axle Class A's for the fifth wheel to have any kind of competition. And if you get into the 3-axle fifth wheels, forget about it. These things are monsters.
They're great, but they do limit where you can go.
Yeah, definitely. Most motorized RVs are integrated. They got power systems integration, they got generators built in and so forth. Most towables don't have that. So if you want power and you're not hooked up in a fifth wheel or a towable of any kind from what we've seen, you need to figure out a generating system in some way, either solar, an extensive banks of batteries, or A generator. The other one is you get rid of the back bed of the truck. So you have this big, enormous truck,
I've never liked
and
that.
there's the bed of the truck is very limited to what you can carry extra.
You know, if you have that big fifth wheel to put all your stuff in, who needs the bed of the truck?
True. We have seen some creative solutions to this. We've seen converted semis, where the bag is a fifth wheel hitch instead of a semi hitch. We've seen flatbed trucks pull a fifth wheel, and at the front of the flatbed, we see this little mechanical arm, and guess what it pulls onto the back? A little smart car.
And I don't think we've seen it all yet.
No,
But
not
we've
even
seen-
close.
It's some pretty crafty ideas.
Yeah, some people really get creative with fifth wheels, especially the people that full time and want a lot of space. You know, they don't want to let go, and they don't boondock. Not everybody that full times is into boondocking and all that
it's
stuff.
not for everybody.
It's not for most people, actually. Most people that we know hang around parks that provide power and electricity and so forth. Don't forget about the height. We've seen a couple of fifth wheels where the air conditioner is actually higher than a semi.
Yeah, I don't see how they get under some of those bridges.
So some of those bridges and that kind of size fifth wheel, yeah, you got to be careful.
I mean, I'm sure some of them look like they're this close when they go into those.
Yeah,
bridges.
and of course they're not all that big. There's small fifth wheels too. We've seen 24 footers, but for the most part, people get a fifth wheel for its size and price per square foot.
That might be our next vehicle, is a fifth
You
wheel.
never know.
So Class A.
Yeah, so the Class A.
Let's see the picture so I can focus.
So we know a little bit about Class A's because we own one.
It was fun, but very expensive.
Yeah, so a couple of the pluses and minuses of a Class A. Of course, if you buy a used Class A and you're kind of handy, especially with mechanical systems, you know, a Class A motor home can be for you. We're very handy with a lot of things, but with two kids, for all of you that remember.
We bought a brand new one, so it was hard for us to fix things up the way we want, you know, because it was a brand new vehicle and we didn't want to change this or change that. So, you know.
We kind of always knew that we weren't going to keep it.
And then after a year or so, you come into all this upkeep. So a lot of it started hitting us hard as far as what it costs to upkeep them and stuff. So,
yeah. It's all about budgeting and
you know, if you want to keep the warranties going and just so and so, you know.
Yeah.
It made a difference for us.
Yeah, it made a big difference for us. And the reason we did it
I loved it though. It
was
fun.
that we wanted to get on the road.
But the Class A's are a lot of fun. I did have a lot of fun in that Class A.
He liked driving it. It's a little bus, and when it comes to a diesel, all the noise and heat are in the back. Where with Class A that's gas and it has the Triton V10 in the front, you get a lot of heat and a lot of noise while you're driving. The noise makes it difficult for you to have a comfortable conversation, at least we felt. And the kids in the back, you know, we couldn't hear them when they were talking to us. So it was just one of those kind of things with the Class C. When we went to the Class A, because it was a diesel pusher, all the heat was gone from the front, so you feel like you're gliding down the road. You know, it feels like flying.
In your living room. It's really
In your
weird.
living
It's
room.
like
You're sitting
driving
on a
down the
couch.
road.
The full integration was my favorite, where everything was at a touch of a button. You press one thing, the thing leveled. You press another button, power switch from shore to, you know, to generator, to batteries, inverter, video integrated system. I mean, these Class A's.
The newer ones these days are quite spectacular. They have everything.
Yeah, they do.
The big thing about space on the Class A from the Class C was that you get the whole front end. Where in the Class C, you can't live in the space. You only drive in that space, you know, on the front of the Class
Yeah, and
C.
you have the bunk above the cab, but it's just a bed.
The main thing is that you gained the driving area as living space.
As a living
when you
space.
land, you get the whole driving space. You know, you can just swing the seats around and it becomes part of your home.
But I do want to talk about the minuses because there's a few.
Yes, we kind of mixed the Class C and A up. So.
I know. It's one of those kind of things. One of them that we found out is they are quite tall. So we came up on a lot of tunnels that we couldn't cross and we had to double track.
A few, yeah.
Quite a few. We've actually heard that in the East Coast, the low tunnel situation is quite
they have some
common.
old bridges and tunnels.
Yeah,
that
that just don't accommodate this size vehicles. But backtracking on a hard day, it just kind of, just one more thing.
Yeah, after you've already driven 6 hours and you're ready to get to your camp, and then it takes you 2 more hours just to get around
that tunnel.
And we've done that.
Because somebody put a
times.
tunnel for a reason. The other thing, besides the height that we actually had to backtrack a couple of times on, is the weight. Bridges have a tonnage limit, and it's amazing how many you go to that are close to what you are or under the limit. So this vehicle was almost 14 tons, and there's a lot of bridges that have a limit of 10 tons.
A lot.
We are a small Class A because 32 feet is kind of small. 33 feet is kind of small.
That's the smallest diesel pusher I think you can
Yeah, that you can get.
You know.
One of the smallest for sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody out there will find one that's smaller.
Yeah, and you can let us know.
So those are two big minuses that we found out. The biggest minus we've already kind of harped on relentlessly, which is the price. You really have to have the money to keep these things in order. And the systems are so complicated that for a do-it-yourselfer, for a modern rig, you really, it's above do-it-yourself. It
Yeah.
really is.
One thing that always scared him was the driver wall. It was from the front of the bus to the back of the bus, or the Class A.
Oh, the slide.
The whole side went out. Was the slide, the whole side. So
Certain slide systems, we've
they're scary.
figured out
They're scary.
that we don't like certain slide systems. So
You know, when it's
probably our least favorite.
it takes your breath every time you slide it in or out. So
Is it gonna get stuck? Or probably my least favorite is the Schwintek.
Yeah,
The
I'll
Schwinteks are in everything. The Schwinteks are in trailers and fifth wheels and C's. They're in everything.
and those it depends on how big your slide is and everything. That depends on how scary scary the slide
Yeah,
becomes.
because our little slide was a Schwintek too, and that thing went in and out
it's
like
like
a dream.
you know, and you're done. No headache, no tummy ache. But
Yeah.
the big long one,
So that was always scary.
it bothered him more than me. I was like, if it breaks,
It breaks.
we'll get another one.
Sure.
No.
So that's a Class A pluses and minuses. So Class Bs, even though we've never really owned the Class B, have met quite a few people in Class Bs. And most of them are single people traveling by themselves. And the more common Class Bs nowadays are the Sprinter vans. And they are awesome!
Yeah, we would definitely have that if we didn't have kids.
They are so cool. And you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're a motorhome, so they're pretty much completely integrated. They have onboard generators, like we found out at that Walmart that night.
Mm-hmm.
They parked right by our window and cranked that sucker up. All night long, we heard that little generator going.
Good gas mileage. I mean, those things
Yeah,
are
26
tight.
miles to the gallon is
If
what
you're-
we've been told.
If you're by yourself or you're just a couple,
Yeah.
those are perfect.
Yeah. They are small, and there's a lot of conversion that has to happen, even in the ones we've seen. So you have to really have that mindset where whenever you travel, you turn things over into a bed, into a couch, back to a bed, and so on. So there's a lot of those kind of conversions that we've seen.
But without kids, you have more time to convert your bed into.
We used to have so much time. We built 2 houses. Now we're just building a family. We've seen them at the beach and stuff. They go anywhere. That's the
Yeah,
nice
they
thing.
can go anywhere. They're so small, and
Yeah.
you can even give them 4-wheel drive.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
nice.
Those off-road campers are so cool. It's really like a Class A, between a Class A and a Class C, because what we've seen inside a Class B is that the front is very usable. They even spin around and make the living room a little bigger. They have pretty much everything that a big motorhome has, just one of the biggest advantages of a Class C over a Class A is that it drives a lot like a big van.
Yeah, you feel like
You
you're in
know.
a van or a truck.
Yeah, drivability of a Class C and a Class B are definitely tops. Class A drives more like a bus, and everything in a Class A is a little different as far as the way the steering wheel is.
Driving my truck, going to a Class C, it felt the same. Nothing was different,
Yeah.
really. But when we went to the Class A, I freaked out a little bit because it's like driving a big bus. Everything is different.
You sit at the same level as truckers?
So that was more of a scare for me than it was driving the Class C. And that was
Yeah.
the Class B we just talked about, which is really nice. They're small.
It's a hybrid between a Class A and a Class C because it's as easy to drive as a Class C.
Yeah.
So we talked about fifth wheels, A's, B's, and C's. So now come the trailers. Where's my trailer picture so that I don't lose track of what I'm talking about? They're a big drawback for a lot of people. They're a little bit more complicated to back up and unstable to tow. A couple of things that we've learned already. If you're really afraid of the towing bit and you get a good hitch, it really kind of solves that
And
problem.
sway bar. If you get
Yeah.
the right hookup.
I mean, I couldn't even tell that thing was back there. So I think that without the hitch that we got, it would have been quite quite a ruckus back there, especially going as fast as I did sometimes. Actually, it's not a drawback. It's just what keeps people away from a trailer. One of the biggest advantages is price. The trailers are usually some of the least expensive overall trailer, meaning not by square foot. The reason that fifth wheels are cheaper is because they're so gigantic. So by square foot, they become cheaper than a trailer. Most trailers are 30 feet or under.
Another drawback to me, it's not really a drawback, but it just depends on how you want to travel. I wanted a Class C or a Class A because the way you travel, you're going down the road. On a trailer, you're going to be in the vehicle. I wanted that big, I wanted to feel like I was driving down the road in a motorhome and the whole family was able to get up and walk around and use the bathroom when they wanted. I don't know why I wanted that feeling. But it's not really a drawback, but it is a big difference in the way you drive and the way you ride with your family. It's just a big difference, you know.
Yeah, no, it is. And for some people, that feeling of being inside the same room and everybody kind of walking around while you're driving down the road is a huge difference.
It is a big difference.
And when we started, we did that. We did that a lot. And we found out a few things just to tell the whole story.
It's easier just to set the kids down.
It is. On top of that, we found out that being on the road for longer than 3 or 4 hours, getting from one campground to another, was really difficult, whether you walked around or not, whether you're sitting in a truck or whether you're not. Yeah. Driving more than a couple hundred miles in one day starts just basically wearing you down. It gets tough. It gets really hard because you can't do anything else.
On him, but me, I was. You can't handle it? No.
It ain't right. Again, funny thing is, we did experience that, and I thought it was a good experience. It was a good experience to travel as a family. I would cook and serve everybody lunch because we were always traveling during lunch. At the beginning, everybody would use the bathroom when they wanted to. I found out that getting up and down 15 times a day was not fun. So it didn't take me very long to say when somebody was going to the bathroom, everybody went. Because I'm not getting back up. Yeah. You know, these are the things that you think it's going to be and how it actually is.
And everybody's going to experience that different.
Yeah. These things that you have at the beginning that you think would be better, they just might not end up being your cup of tea. We're just sharing how it went for us. I mean, I think everybody's kids, you know, kind of tangle sometime during the day.
Oh yeah, half the day is fighting, half the day is getting along.
So when you're in a really closed environment and the parents are kind of distracted doing other tasks,
the kids know.
The kids know. So heads up. So basically going to a travel trailer now and being in the truck up front, since we have more of the rhythm that we already know that we do and we want to keep up, we don't think, if anything, we think we're back to traveling together, so we can't wait. The kids each just going to have a window. The travel trailer, some advantages, it's lower. So we're hoping to minimize the amount of turnarounds that we have to make because of low tunnels. It weighs a lot less. Yeah, we've never seen a bridge that's less than 5 tons. 5 tons are the smallest bridges we see. And this thing is going to be well under 5 tons. Those two things that have been kind of I don't know why it bothered us so much to be humming along and all of a sudden you come to it's never at a good stop either. It's never at a good place where you come up to the tunnel you can't go under.
Sometimes it's hard to back around, to get out of it.
To get out of it, yeah. Everybody's upset behind you, you know, that kind of. It's amazing how many tunnels have an 11-foot limit. So, did that help? That's our breakdown of all the trailers. We had our 2 little helpers,
and that's really just our dislikes and likes from what we've experienced and what we've heard and learned, you know, along the way.
Yeah, hopefully you have a couple of takeaways that you can, you know, if you're thinking about doing this or even renting one to go down the road, you'll know what to, you know, you'll know a little bit about what to expect when it comes to the big highs and big lows. If you have any questions, by all means, you know, tell us in the comments below. We're still working on our Q&A because we don't have enough questions. We were thinking about making believe that somebody's asking us all these questions, but it's better to answer real questions. So ask us some questions, and we'll throw out a Q&A there in the future, near future, depending on how many questions and how fast we get them. Thank you for all of those of you who so consistently watch our videos. You guys are awesome. That really helps. We're trying to basically get off the ground. We're still on the ground. And having you guys follow us so closely. It's really charming, and it gives us a high when we. It gives us enormous amount of pleasure to see you guys get something from every video. Not every video is for everybody, but we feel that it touches different people in different ways, and that's exactly what we want to see. Something we always forget to ask, and we always tell ourselves, if we were only asked, is please subscribe.
Yes, that would help a lot.
You know,
Boost of energy there.
yeah. Getting up your subscription. You know, YouTube treats our channel differently when people get more engaged, more interested, and we really want to tell our story. It's weird to have a YouTube channel that says, "Hey, look, we're just like everybody else." Yeah, if you get around to it and you haven't subscribed, please do so. And thanks for watching. Get closer, man.
Come on. You're obsessed with me.
Oh, my fabulous drawings. There's recording. You see it?
Yeah, but I don't see you here. Damn camera.
We're having camera anxiety. Camera performance anxiety.
I started sweating.
Yeah, we wanted to talk about Class A's. All right. You see the red light? Can you see it?
I was trying not to look at the screen. Rolling.
Rolling.
Take 3.
Class A's. We own one.
How about we said hi to those nice big kids and the little kids.
Okay.
And they were riding their bikes. And one of them had a pet cat. And the other one on the other side looked just like his cat. It was kind of...
You're so funny. Okay.
I'm serious.
I heard you, baby. Why would I think you're not serious?
That's where we left off.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's where we left off.
Again.
That's okay.
Axel. I understand you're looking for lizards, honey, but don't bang the house. Don't bang the house.
I just like to leave the lizards alone and then they'll come back tomorrow.
Okay.
Maybe.
When you have 2 little ones.
And no Nana to throw them at. Nana, catch.
Yeah.
It helps.
Can you babysit for a day? We don't have that around right now.
No. But yeah, Class C, and there's some old school Class C's as well. You know, the ones.
Class B, not C.
Oh yeah, Class B.
So Class B.
Yeah, Class B's. I have the big B there in front of me.
I know.
Pluses to that.
Sorry. Oh, I forgot what we left off. That's the... I forgot. So back on the Class B's, it really is so much harder with 2 kids.
Yeah.
But we love them.
Yeah. You got it. It's in the rule book.